It's 3 a.m. and there you are in your bed, staring at the ceiling. Outside, the world is silent, but inside your mind, it's as busy as Piccadilly Circus at rush hour. Sounds familiar, right? It's frustrating, exhausting, and let's face it, a little scary. Why? Because we all know how crucial a good night's sleep is not just for our bodies, but for our minds and our overall well-being. Today, we're breaking down the impact of self-care on sleep quality, and I mean breaking it down, looking at the problems, the science, the solutions, and those heartwarming real-life stories that bring it all home.
Hey there, go-getters. Welcome to the self-care and hustle journey. Meet your host, Nestle. Here, she pairs your ambitions with well-being for a life in harmony. Forget the all-work, no-play mantra. We're about that real work-life rhythm that sings to the tune of your personal beat. Ready for insights that will transform your daily hustle? Well, you're in the right place. This podcast brings you real stories, straightforward tips, and the tools for balance. We're not just dreaming big, we're living well. Join her in redefining success, where your hustle hugs health. It's time to feel good, do good, and strike that perfect harmony. This journey is all about making the good life your everyday life. Are you ready? Settle in, and let's dive into this episode.
Let's start with the beast itself, sleep deprivation. It's like being stuck in a hamster wheel. Poor sleep leads to stress, and stress leads to even worse sleep. It's a cycle many of us know too well. Research shows that about 30% of adults suffer from insomnia, and that number is climbing. Imagine Kate, a nurse from London just like me, who finds herself in this cycle. She's juggling long shifts and personal commitments. Every night she tries to wind down. Maybe she watches a bit of TV, scrolls through her phone, or reads a few pages of a book. But instead of slowing down, her mind does the opposite. But her mind races with thoughts of unfinished tasks, future shifts, and what she is making for dinner tomorrow. It is the reality for countless individuals trying to balance life's demands. Katie's story isn't a rare case. It is incredibly common. It's the reality for countless individuals trying to keep up with the demands of modern life, balancing careers, personal life, and health, and somehow trying to squeeze in some semblance of a social life. Many young professionals, especially in high-pressure jobs, find themselves in this relentless loop. It can feel like no matter how tired they are, switching off just seems impossible. So, what can we take away from this? First, if this sounds like you, you're not alone. Second, recognizing this cycle is the first step towards breaking it. Stick with me, and we'll explore ways to not just step off this exhausting wheel, but also kick it to the curb and find a more peaceful night's sleep. Because believe me, once you start sleeping better, everything else starts to look a bit brighter too. Let's take a moment to understand why our sleep sometimes feels out of our control. We're diving into some science here, but I promise it's worth your attention because understanding this can be a game changer. First up, let's talk about something called the circadian rhythm. This is a 24-hour internal clock running in the background of your brain that cycles between sleepiness and alertness at regular intervals. It's like your body's built-in timer that tells you when to feel awake and when to feel sleepy. Everyone has this natural sleep-wake cycle, and for the most part, it digs consistency. That means going to bed and waking up at the same time every day can significantly improve the quality of your sleep. So, why does this matter? Well, sticking to a schedule helps regulate your circadian rhythm. When this rhythm is consistent, it can lead to better overall sleep quality. Think about it. How do you feel after a late night out compared to a night when you go to bed at your usual time? There is a noticeable difference, right? That is your circadian rhythm at work. Now let's add another layer to this. Melatonin, known as the sleep hormone. Melatonin is produced in a part of your brain called the pineal gland. And here is the kicker. It is directly influenced by light exposure. Melatonin levels start to rise in your body when it is dark, helping you feel sleepy. In the morning, light causes those levels to drop, helping you wake up. This natural ebb and flow of melatonin is what helps keep our sleep patterns on track. But here's the issue for many of us, especially young adults. Our exposure to light, particularly blue light from screens like smartphones, tablets, and laptops, can seriously mess with our melatonin production. This blue light tricks our brains into thinking it's still daylight, causing a delay in melatonin production, which makes it harder to fall asleep. In our connected world, where we check Instagram, Twitter, or the latest news on our phones before bed, we're telling our brains to keep awake. This disruption can lead to poorer sleep, which, as you know, can affect everything from your mood to your ability to think clearly. So understanding the science of sleep is not just academic, it's incredibly practical. By managing our light exposure, sticking to a sleep schedule, and respecting our body's natural rhythms, we can hack our sleep in the best way possible, leading to better health, sharper thinking, and a happier life. Stick around because next, we explore practical tips on how to make these scientific insights work for you in real life. Now let's bridge the gap between understanding sleep and getting better sleep. That is where self-care steps in, and I'm not just talking about bubble baths and face masks. Self-care for better sleep is about being intentional with how you manage your day to set yourself up for a good night's rest. This involves taking time to care for your mental, physical, and emotional health in ways that signal to your body that it's time to wind down and prepare for sleep. For example, establishing a nightly routine can significantly influence how quickly you fall asleep and the quality of sleep you get. This could be as simple as dedicating the last hour before bed to calming activities like reading a book, journaling, or doing some gentle stretches instead of engaging with electronic devices. By doing so, you're telling your body, hey, it's time to slow down. Let's talk about James, a young tech enthusiast from Manchester. His typical evening used to be filled with high-energy activities like gaming and coding. While these are great for stimulation, they're not so great when it comes to winding down. The bright screens and intense focus kept his brain buzzing way past his bedtime. Realizing this was a problem, James decided to make a change. He introduced a mindfulness practice into his routine. Just 10 minutes a day with a guided meditation app helped him transition from the high of coding to a more relaxed state. Now you might think 10 minutes sounds insignificant, but do not underestimate it. This small shift in how he spent his evenings made a big difference. It didn't magically fix everything overnight, nothing does. But gradually, James noticed he was falling asleep more quickly, and more importantly, he was waking up feeling more refreshed. This change underscores a crucial point about self-care and sleep. Small intentional actions can lead to significant improvements. It is not about overhauling your entire life. It is about making manageable changes that accumulate over time. So if you find yourself struggling to disconnect from your day, consider what small tweaks you could make to your evening routine. Maybe it's turning off your gadgets an hour before bed or replacing screen time with a calming playlist and dimming the lights. Each small step is a part of a larger journey towards better sleep and better health. Remember, the goal of self-care isn't just to improve sleep, it's to enhance your overall quality of life. By taking care of ourselves during the day, especially before bedtime, we improve our sleep, which in turn makes us more resilient, energetic, and emotionally balanced. It's all interconnected, and it starts with giving ourselves the care we deserve. Stick with us, and we will dive into more specific, actionable tips you can start tonight to revamp your sleep through self-care. It's one thing to talk about theories and strategies, but seeing them in action brings everything into perspective. Meet Maria, a vibrant personality from right here in London. Maria used to proudly wear the label of a night owl. Like many of us, she thrived on the quiet and creativity that the night seemed to offer, powered by endless cups of coffee and the thrill of beating deadlines at the last minute. But despite the initial perks, this lifestyle started taking a toll on her. She began noticing she was often irritable, her performance at work was slipping, and even her skin wasn't as clear and vibrant as before. These were clear signals that something needed to change. Realizing she couldn't ignore her body's protests any longer, Maria decided it was time to rewrite her nighttime script. She introduced a nightly routine that included sipping herbal tea and spending some time journaling. Now, these aren't just random activities she picked out of hate. They're carefully chosen. Herbal tea, especially blended with ingredients like chamomile or lavender, is known for its natural sedative properties, which can help ease the body into a state of relaxation. Journaling, on the other hand, acts as a mental release, allowing her to unload thoughts, worries, and reflections from the day onto paper, which helps clear her mind before bed. This switch didn't transform her sleep overnight, but over the course of 6 months, the changes became undeniable. Maria started finding it easier to fall asleep, and the quality of her sleep improved dramatically. This wasn't just about getting more hours of shut-eye. It was about enhancing the restfulness of her sleep. As a result, she woke up feeling more refreshed and energized, ready to tackle her days with newfound vigor and clarity. Her work performance began to improve, reflecting her higher energy levels and sharper focus, and even her skin started to regain its healthy glow. Maria's story is a powerful testament to the role self-care can play in breaking the cycle of poor sleep. It's about more than just avoiding screens or cutting down on caffeine. It's about actively nurturing your body and mind as you prepare for rest. Her experience shows us that while change might require some adjustment and patience, the benefits of committing to a nightly self-care routine can ripple out, enhancing not just sleep, but overall quality of life. So, if you are listening and you find yourself struggling with sleep, think about what small changes you could introduce into your nightly routine. What works for Maria might not be the perfect fit for you, but it's about experimenting and finding what gives you that sense of calm and readiness for sleep. Whether it's tea, journaling, or perhaps some light yoga or meditation, the key is consistency and intention. Give it a try. Your own success story might just be a few habit changes away. All right, let's get into some practical tips that you can start using tonight to revamp your sleep routine. These aren't just random suggestions. They're backed by science and proven by real-life success stories. By integrating these habits into your nightly routine, you're setting the stage for better sleep, which, as we know, can improve just about everything else in your life. This one might sound like something your parents nagged you about when you were a kid, but there's a good reason for it. Sticking to a regular sleep schedule helps regulate your body's internal clock, the circadian rhythm we talked about earlier. This means trying to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, yes, even on weekends. By doing this, you help your body expect sleep at a certain time, which can make falling asleep and waking up easier. Think of it as training your body to naturally feel sleepy and alert at the right times, making the whole process less of a struggle. Our next tip is about managing your exposure to blue light in the evening. Blue light, which is emitted by screens like your smartphone, tablet, and computer, can mess with your ability to fall asleep by interfering with melatonin production. An easy fix? Try to put away electronic devices at least an hour before bedtime. Instead of scrolling through social media or binge-watching series, you could read a book or listen to a podcast. It's a relaxing way to end the day and get some cool insights. It's a win-win. Creating a pre-sleep ritual is like sending a signal to your brain that it is time to wind down and prepare for sleep. This could be anything that relaxes you. A warm bath, gentle yoga, meditation, or even jotting down a few thoughts in a journal. What you choose doesn't matter as much as the fact that it's relaxing and helps separate your sleep time from the activities of the day. For example, a warm bath raises your body temperature slightly and then lets it drop, which cues your body to feel sleepy. Gentle yoga or meditation can help ease the mind, steering it away from the day's stresses and focusing on calm, slow breathing, which primes you for good sleep. Implementing these tips is not just about improving sleep, it's about enhancing your overall well-being. It's a commitment to taking better care of yourself, and the results can be more transformative than you might expect. By establishing a nighttime routine that includes these elements, you are not just setting yourself up for a better night's sleep. You're setting yourself up for a more energetic and productive tomorrow. So tonight, as you begin to wind down, remember these tips. It is about small steps, but each step is a building block towards a healthier you. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, subscribe if you haven't already, and join me next time. Give these tips a try. Sweet dreams.
And just like that, we've reached the end of our time together today on Self-Care and Hustle Journey. Big thanks for joining Nestle. She's been honored to share this time with you. If today's conversation sparked something inside, hit that like and subscribe for more uplifting stories and tips. Your support means the world and helps spread this message of balanced living far and wide to more incredible listeners like you. Craving more? Don't forget to visit www.nestlecream.co.uk for even more resources and tools that will help you craft the harmonious life you're dreaming of. Until next time, keep nurturing your health, embracing the hustle, and remember, the good life is not just a dream. It's your reality waiting to unfold. So take care and let's make it happen. We'll see you in the next episode.